Welcome to the Outcast Trading Channel. My name is Io, and today we're going to look at some altcoins. So first of all, I apologize if my voice seems a little different or my appearance is a little different. I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather, but we are going to try and get this content out and look at some altcoins. So I actually asked you guys on the Discord what recommendations you guys had for this video. What did you guys want to see? And halfway through my list, I wasn't sure if you guys were trolling me or if they were actually legitimate coins, because I had never seen half of those before. So I actually put them in a list over here, my watch list over here. I have not looked at them previously, so this is going in blind. I'm only going to do the weekly and the daily, given that below that I think it's kind of irrelevant for these coins. But I mean, it doesn't mean you can't trade them on the lower time frames. But for relevance, I think it's better to keep it to the daily. So the first one is Aave. I think that's how it's pronounced, Aave. So on the weekly, we do see that it's banging its head against the weekly 21. That's more or less what ETH is doing, if I recall correctly. Kind of making a bit of a higher high over this lower high over here, which is a bit of an initial hint of a reversal. I don't want to sound too bullish or call all the bulls to the yard, but it is looking okay. A close above would be even better. Still 2 days and 4 hours to go. Yeah, that is pretty bullish. Even though, however, look at this. We are in a heavy downtrend since, I mean, you could technically call this the lower low over here, since May. So, May, if you want to be even more conservative, June. But it's been a downtrend since then, just like Bitcoin, I'm assuming. And I think that most of these coins are going to follow Bitcoin. It's just that magnitude is going to change between different altcoins. But they're all pretty much doing the same thing, just at different speeds, I would say. So let's go down, let's look at the Stokes. Stokes are up, crossed above the critical zone, about over here. Yep, about here. Still up, pretty good. Any bullish divergence to be noted, which would have played out to the 21 over here. Actually, no bullish divergence. Okay. Well, it's playing to the 21 anyway. And then we'll see what it does after that. Let's go down to the daily. What is it playing with again? Over here. Let's see. It's an uptrend on the daily. It's kind of doing what Bitcoin is doing. But it looks like it's a pretty healthy uptrend so far. Bouncing off the 21 every time it can. Next targets, I would say, are around $117, $118. These are dollars, yes. Around the daily 200 symbol, which would, around the 200 symbol, and around this wick over here. Can I go further up from there? Sure, but I would look for some resistance around here, around this level. Yeah. So for Aave, it looks good. I mean, there's some hidden bullish divergence over here. The Stokes are up and won't cross down unless it closes the daily below $107. So for now, it looks like an uptrend. Trade the trend until it's no longer a trend. Trade the range until it's no longer a range. In this case, it's still a trend. So trade the trend. Let's go to the next altcoin. We have Helium. Is that, yeah, HNT, Helium. Okay, interesting. This doesn't look as interesting as Aave. Nowhere near the 21. Okay, interesting. This is actually different. There's quite a support area around here. Let's make a bit of a rectangle. Let's see. Yeah, with these wicks around here, which actually is from the listing kind of pump. It's actually acting as a bit of a support. Still getting trapped below the weekly 10 simple, which, let's see, I will check on the daily as well, but definitely not as bullish as Aave. This does not look as good. Maybe it comes down to make some weekly bullish divergence, but for now, still a downtrend. I mean, if you consider this, let me zoom in. I mean, on the weekly, it's a downtrend, but is it making a bit of a accumulation zone over here? Maybe an uptrend on the daily. We'll check now. But on the weekly, there's a high, there's a low, a high, and this is nothing, to be honest. This is nothing yet. Okay, let's go down to the daily. Maybe it'll help us. Yeah, the daily is getting trapped below the 21, so this is not bullish at all, actually. Kind of a downtrend, actually, on the daily as well. This is not good. Okay. So helium, not so good. Quite the opposite to Aave. Interesting. Daily Stokes are actually down as long as they close below the 8 below the 8.75, $8.75, which is not too far away. But yeah, I don't see much trading volume on this, or any trading at all. Interesting. Do I have the right coin? Hold on. Add symbol H and T. Let's look at the different exchange like Bybit, perpetual. No, looks the same. Let's look at the hourly. It does seem to trade, but not much. Like the daily range is not too big. Interesting. Let me zoom in on this one on the hourly. Yeah, it's moving, but not very much actually. It's kind of flat on the day. Okay. I guess I don't have to cut that part out. It is actually trading, just not very much. Okay, let's go to the next one, I guess. I guess I'll do a bit of a summary on each coin. So Aave bullish uptrend on the daily, weekly 21. So that's something we have to be wary about. But so far so good. Ride the trend on the daily for now. Helium on the other side, on the other hand, it's a downtrend on the daily, stuck below the 21. Stokes down on the daily. There's some bullish divergence, which kind of played out to the 21. Doesn't look healthy at all, to be honest. So not good. I think that's my evaluation on this one. Not good. Let's go to the next one. Next one is Near. It is actually a coin. Okay. It's not near the 21 on the weekly, 21 exponential moving average on the weekly. However, it's close enough, I guess. How far away is it? This is $6. It's about 50 cents away. Okay. Might close the weekly above this little hump over here, which would be a good start to call this a bit of an accumulation zone. I would like to see it cross close above the 21. Looks like the Stokes haven't even crossed above the critical zone on the weekly yet, which means that it's not an actual signal, but once they do cross, it will look healthier. Yeah, so far so good on Near. I would expect the 21 to get tapped at this point. Is there any bullish divergence here? Technically, no. No bullish divergence. Okay. Daily. Let's go down to the daily. Daily. Interesting. It looks like it rode the 21 for a while. It did a bit of a sandwich between the 55 EMA and the 21, which we've been seeing on a lot of assets. Then with this a little bit of ascending triangle sandwich between those EMAs, it broke out, and it's playing out a move to this resistance. Next resistance is around 736, but the weekly 21 is around 650 around this wick. So I would expect a bit of a resistance around here. If I can close above, then we have another level over here. Yeah, let's mark it out. So maybe you can refer to this next week. So this is one area I'm looking at, and another area is on this one over here. 645. Let's bring it up to 650 on this little wick over here. Yeah, around there. Any bearish divergence possible on the daily? Not yet. No, so far so good. On the weekly, any hidden bearish divergence? I forgot to check. Yes, technically with this. No, actually no. It's not this, it's this. No, so technically no hidden bearish divergence either on the weekly. So far so good. Anything I'm missing on the 12-hour? I mean, if it's an uptrend, so I would expect it to ride the 21 if near decides to take a bit of a breather, come down to the 21, and then bounce off of there. It wouldn't be too bad to see. However, I don't see any bearish divergence here, so for now, it's an uptrend, so follow the uptrend for now. The Stokes are kind of high up there, but with no intentions to cross down 20 cents away. But still high up in the critical zone, so there's still some time to go if it wants to turn bearish. For now, uptrend, good. Looking for a tap of the 21 on the weekly. Around 650, I would say. Maybe next week. Comes down a little bit further to 625 or something like that. Maybe. Okay, let's move to the next one. Ape. So this one I've actually traded before, and it was more of a joke than anything, but Mark in the Discord sounds very serious about it, so I will do my best to recommend this coin, to evaluate this coin, not recommend it at all. No, I'm not recommending anything, especially in this video, but I will evaluate it. Can I get a longer chart than this? No, this is one of the first charts, I imagine. Around the weekly 21. How far away is it? $2. That's quite a bit, actually. Kind of, I mean, can you call this still an uptrend with a high, a low, and then nothing? Or maybe high, low, higher, high. I mean high, higher, low, higher, high, and then a lower low and a lower high. It's a very young asset, so there's no trend here. It's just all over the place, especially with this first couple of weeks of trading. It just went haywire here, but it looks like it's settling down around the $4 to $10 range, I would say. Yeah, $4 to $10 range is where I would be looking for this asset in the near future. For now, it's stuck below the weekly 21. I would, if Bitcoin does get moving, most of these altcoins are going to go for that weekly 21. So yeah, that's what I would say for this one too. Let's see on the daily. Let's see if we can see a bit things. Oh, look, it's bouncing off the daily 21. Do we have some bearish divergence prior to that? Nope, no bearish divergence. It's just maintaining its uptrend on the daily. There's a low here, there's a high here, there's a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low in the making over here, above the 21. So this is actually just a normal uptrend above the 21. Stokes are down and crossed this critical zone. So this kind of, it didn't recross from the critical zone. It never actually made it above, unless you count this. But it's kind of flat up here. Yeah, it's still an uptrend. Areas to look at, this kind of high over here, $9. Does that fit with anything? $9. It's above the weekly 21. Interesting. But it is a pretty important horizontal, I would say. Yeah. So as long as the uptrend is held, I would look for a tap of the 21 at least, and maybe a tap of this horizontal over here, and then we'll evaluate from there. But yeah, most of these altcoins are looking for the 21 on the weekly, except Helium. Helium is looking for oil underground because it's not going anywhere. Let's look at Farm. I think Cat from the Discord recommended this. I'm not sure if this is the right one. I saw Farm or Drip. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. But I'll go with this one because the one I looked for, Drip, was had no trading volume and no trading at all. So I was with Wrapped ETH. I still don't even know what that is. I mean, I do know what it is, but I've never traded it before. So yeah. Let's see. Farm. Let's go to the weekly first. Look at that. Weekly 21. Got one stab, two stabs, going for the third one. Look, most of these altcoins are doing the same thing. They're kind of flirting with the weekly 21, except of course Helium. Stokes are up. A bit of an accumulation, nice little V over here. Next target, as long as it's below the weekly 21, this would be an interesting spot to hit its head against. But if it does break, I would look at this kind of level over here. I would make two little lines here. Kind of this area between 82 and 86, or between 80 and 80, and 82 and 88, or 80 and 88. At least for a bit of an area. Let's see if we can actually draw a fib from here. Oof, this wick doesn't really help us, does it? Whoa, that's a weird template. Let's not use this template. Golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket is not available on this time frame. Okay. We'll go down to this one. Okay, we'll use that one. 618 golden pocket is lining up with this kind of this area over here, which is also resistant. So the 0.5 is around this area. So yeah, I would expect first to try over here, and if it does actually become somewhat bullish, and actually want to go for a actual higher high above this lower high, this will be the area to fight over. But for now, I mean, it's very far away from there. For now, it still has to crunch through the weekly 21 in this little area here, and then we'll talk about that. But at the end of the day, it'll do what Bitcoin wants to do. Just again in different strengths, of course. Let's go down to the daily. Wow, the daily actually went for that tap of the twin symbol that we've been looking at different assets to do. This one actually did it pretty good. Still an uptrend above the weekly 21. What a surprise! It did the same kind of sandwich between the 55 and the 21. Broke out. A lot of wicks. Very interesting. I guess it's just the lack of the liquidity in this asset. But it did actually break out with a bit of an ascending triangle between this sandwich between the EMAs, and broke up, measured move to the 200 symbol, which is I think what I was looking at Aave to do. What was it? Yeah. So break this area up to the 200 symbol. Yeah. So Farm actually did what I want, or what I expect Aave to do. So this is what I'm looking for Aave to do. This is pretty good. Again, higher highs, higher lows. There's a bit of a flat price action over here, but still above the 21, so I'm somewhat bullish still. Stokes are down, but pretty flat. They have been flat since July, since the start of July. On the daily, at least. Let's see on the weekly again. Weekly, they're up and crossing above the critical zone, so that's pretty bullish actually. And no bullish divergence to be seen. No. Okay. So for now, trend above the 21, uptrend above the 21, maintaining that for now. Good to see. And I expect another tap of this little area over here. And we'll see if it closes above the weekly 21 or not. Okay. Let's go to Matic. I remember Kendra Joy asked this a couple weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, and I did kind of call the 21. We saw that actually work out from this little area over here. 21 was hit, several times, still below. It is a pretty strong zone. The weekly 21 is pretty strong. Nothing much to update on this, as long as it's closing below the weekly 21. Maybe expect it to come down for a higher low in this little area and call this a bit of a reversal. But again, it's below the weekly 21, so I wouldn't call that a reversal. Still trending on the daily above the weekly 21, same as pretty much everything that we've been seeing today except helium. Wow, this actually tapped again as support. That was pretty good. I'm not sure if I referred to this as an actual area to come down for support, but if I did, called it. I mean, I'm not even sure if I did, but this is what I would actually say in hindsight. I think it was over here that was flushed against this resistance, and it popped again to the 21. And then it came down to test this previous breakout pre-textbook thing here. Bounce off the 21. Actually made a lower high, which is not great. And still making kind of a consolidation around here. Looks like an ascending triangle. Do we really want to plot this out? Let's make Kinder Joy happy. Okay. Not much of a pattern trader, but I mean, if it's this obvious, might as well, right? And where would the actual thing be? Conservative. The conservative target would be 117, which lines up with this little consolidation area here, this lower high. Does it line up with anything else on the weekly? What did I say? It was 117. On the weekly, 117 doesn't line up with much. Maybe it's a bit more conservative, and we'll look for the 55 on the weekly as a breakout of that triangle. We'll see. I mean, if I have to evaluate it again, looks good. It's an uptrend somewhat. It's a bit of consolidation here, but still maintaining its higher lows, which is the good part. Just it's maintaining the actual highs, kind of the same. It's an ascending triangle, in other words, with targets up to 117, 120. I mean, it's a ballpark. The 200 is actually acting as resistance here, which is something we've seen on many assets here. Okay, so if you want to click away from this video, that is good. I've done my job here. Now I'm going to actually look at Luna because Jackie asked for it. But this is a scam coin. Don't trade this asset. This had an exit scam. It's not an actual tradable coin. This is more of a fun little ending to this video. So I'm going to look at Luna. But please be warned, don't trade this asset. It is not a coin to trade. Okay. And this is why. Because this actually is wrong, because this is the Luna C, which turned into, former Luna, which turned into Luna C. So the coins you had here now are not called Luna anymore. However, it's still the same chart, which is kind of bizarre. I don't know why they did this or why they're charting it like this. Very interesting. So this is the actual coin. So the coin pre-dump then changed into this coin. So it's actually at 0. But they kind of issued a different token called Luna, like a new Luna. And now it's at $2 for some reason. So, kind of bizarre. Yeah, below the 21, Jackie. There's not much to update on this. This is kind of crap. Wow. What an exit! What a scam this coin was. Anyways, let's click out of this crap. So. All in all, most of these coins are flushed around the 21 on the weekly, which is what ETH was doing at some point. And most altcoins do follow ETH, and ETH follows Bitcoin. I side with Chromwick on this. So yeah, I think that most of these alts are gonna pick a direction by copying Bitcoin. However, they'll go stronger or weaker depending on the asset. But yeah, I hope you like this content. I will try and make more updates. I'll ask for more recommendations and make this list a little bigger. I will already take this one out and this one out because that was kind of a joke on Jackie's part, and I indulged him. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and if you want to join our community, click on the link in the description. Join our Discord. We will have a trading course coming out soon, and yeah, just be part of our community. Yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.